Hi, and welcome to our program on the summer solstice. My name is Mrs. Jackman, and I work at Middle Country Library. The summer solstice this year is going to be on Saturday, June 20th at 5:44 p.m. This date marks the official beginning of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. If we look on the globe here, this top half, where we live, is the Northern Hemisphere. And this occurs when the Earth arrives at its point in its orbit where the North Pole is at its maximum tilt towards the sun, and it results in the longest day and the shortest night of the year. The year's longest day. The summer solstice is the day with the longest period of sunlight. You can notice how the sun appears highest in the sky at the solstice, and its rays strike the Earth at a more direct angle, causing efficient warming that we call summer. Because the sun is highest in the sky on this day, you'll notice that your shadow is the shortest. So go outside on Saturday, June 20th, and take a look at your shadow. There are many different summer solstice traditions. Many cultures, both ancient and modern, celebrate the sunlight with rituals and holidays. Every year, on the summer solstice, thousands of people travel to Wiltshire, England, to Stonehenge, a mysterious prehistoric monument. For more than 4,000 years, this monument has stood like a giant sundial, marking the longest day of the year and the shortest. So today, to celebrate the summer solstice, I'm going to show you how you can make a sundial too. Before clocks and watches, if you wanted to know what time it was, you checked on the local sundial. From ancient times, people used sunlight and pillars to cast shadows on the ground. These shadows were measured and adjusted for the time of year. Those measurements were used to tell the time. You can make your own sundial at home with just a few simple things. A paper plate, a pencil or a straw, some markers, and maybe some Play-Doh. First, what you want to do is poke a hole in your plate, sort of right in the center of your plate. I don't know if you can see that. And if you're using a straw, you're going to poke it first with something else because the straw is not going to go through. But I have a sharpened pencil, and if I poke it, it will go through. Not standing up straight right now. There we go. Now it'll stand up straight. If your pencil or your straw doesn't stand up straight, you can use a little bit of Play-Doh around the base to get it to stick. Next, you're going to want to set your plate in the sun. Notice the time and mark it on the plate in pencil where the shadow is. And you can do this like every half hour or every hour during the daylight hours. And if it's windy on the day that you have this outside, you might want to use a rock, and that's what I did. I just weighed mine down with a rock in the sun, and I came out every hour and marked where the pencil line was. After you have all of your markings, you can decorate it however you like. This is mine. And so you can see what I did was I marked it, and then I color-coded it and put little dots. So if you can't read the numbers, you can count how many dots and know what time it is. This is 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 noon. Look at all those dots I have. 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and 5 p.m. And I drew a little sun. So you can do this and set this outside. And then while you're playing, you can come and check and see what time it is. Next, I have a craft project that you can do to celebrate the summer solstice. Find some interesting leaves and some construction paper and either a little bit of glue or some tape. And what you can do is you're going to, in an interesting pattern or however you like, either glue down and just a tiny bit. Glue down the leaves. This one has a little branch. I think it'll need a little bit of tape. And then tape it to the sunny window with your leaves facing out to the outside, and leave it up for 3 or 4 days so that the sun will bleach it out. You see some that I did. I did this one with these leaves and I taped them down. And the sun can get to the paper, but it can't get underneath the leaves. So when you pull your leaves off, you can see the design that you have left behind. Take these off so that you can see. And I guess some leaves work better than others. I have some that are crumbling right now. But this is my sun print with some leaves from outside. Now, what if you really don't have a place to get some leaves for outside? Well, then maybe you want to rip up a little paper instead. So what I did was I just ripped up some paper, and you can see that I taped it down, and then I put it in the window, this side facing out, and I left it there for a couple of days. Now we can see what happens underneath. When I remove the paper, this is my art print, my sun print, to celebrate the summer solstice. The next project I have is a little bit more involved, but it's a great, fun, science-y kind of project that you can do to celebrate the summer solstice and the longer sunlight days of summer. This is making a solar oven from a pizza box. So the materials that you're going to need is either a marker or pencils, a ruler, a box cutter or a pair of scissors, a cardboard pizza box, some aluminum foil, some plastic wrap, and then whatever you're going to be heating up in your solar oven. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with a clean pizza box, and using a ruler and a marker or a pencil, we're going to mark 1 square inch from the edge of our pizza box. Put it here. You're going to want to mark this on the sides and the bottom. We're not going to cut the top. And what we want to do is we're making a flap. I think this is 1 inch, right here where these lines are. Okay, so you're going to mark your lines 1 inch around the top, and then you're going to cut on these 3 lines. And if it's tough, you can get a grown-up to help you cut this. And this is our flap. Oops, it went in. I need it to come out. There we go. Okay, so now you have your flap of your pizza oven. We're going to cover the inside of the flap with aluminum foil. And then we're going to line the edges and the bottom of the pizza box with pieces of foil. You can kind of fold it around to the outside of your pizza box. That'll get it to stay nice. And then it almost doesn't even need tape. So anything that is showing You want it to have aluminum foil on it. Some black paper in the bottom of our pizza box. Like that. So we have some foil strips and the black paper. And then next what we want to do is we want to cover this opening with plastic wrap. And you want it to be an airtight seal so that any heat that starts building up inside your pizza oven stays down inside your pizza oven. So you're going to try and pull this tight. I want to make sure it's big enough. And this is a little tricky, especially if you're doing this outside and it blows in the wind. You might need a grown-up's help. And you're going to tape it across. I think it might be easier to do this way. Tape it on the inside. So now we have our box with the aluminum foil and the black paper on the bottom and our window of saran wrap. And you're going to place this in a sunny area, and the sun rays are going to hit the aluminum foil. They're going to be reflected down into your pizza oven and warm up anything that's in there. So I'm going to put mine in the sun, and I'll show you how it works. Now there's a few fun things that you can cook in your pizza box solar oven. You could make s'mores, some graham crackers, some chocolate, and some mini marshmallows, and leave it in there and place it in a sunny location in your yard and wait until the chocolate melts and the marshmallows get melty too. Or what I think I'm going to try today is to make some nachos. So I'm going to put some tortilla chips and some shredded cheese on top and sprinkle it with a little taco seasoning. And I'm going to put this in the sun and see how long it takes for the cheese to melt so that I can have some yummy nachos for lunch today. Hi, so I found this sunny spot in my yard, and it pretty much stays sunny all day long. So this is where I'm going to put my pizza box solar oven. I made my nachos, some chips and some cheese, and I sprinkled a little taco seasoning on it, and I'm going to put it inside my pizza oven, and then I'm going to close it up. And now in order to prop this open, if you have a pencil or a popsicle stick, you could tape on there. I found this stick in the yard, and I think it works just right to kind of go like that and hold this open. So I'll come back in a little while and see what my nachos look like and see how long it takes to melt the cheese. I hope you have some fun with these projects. I hope you make a pizza box solar oven too and do some things in your backyard to celebrate the summer solstice. Have fun!